Good evening. A tentative deal has been struck between Loblaw and its unionized workers in Alberta. Now, this comes less than 48 hours on the picket line. Strikers were still on the scene this afternoon in Lloydminster as they wait until their delegation agrees on a final deal.
Thank you.
Now, Charlie Medlicott was in Calgary yesterday. That's where talks continued throughout the night.
We didn't want to take a strike, but there comes a time you have to take a stand, and that's kind of what the workers have done, and we're very proud of all of our members across this province and the work our local has done.
Union is negotiating over cuts to hours for part-time workers. Roughly 8,500 workers from 55 Superstore and Real Canadian liquor stores are involved in the strike.
There's plenty of work to be done in these stores, plenty of work, and that's all we're asking for is the right to work. You shouldn't have to beg to get more hours in this day and age, and in this province especially.
A ratification vote will take place tomorrow. Well, Wes Saunders continues to inspire many broadcasters across the country. He spent nearly 50 years in the industry, 37 of those here in Lloydminster before retiring 20 years ago. This morning, Saunders was honored by naming the Newcap Newsroom after him.
Yeah, I never expected this.
Wes Saunders became a household name in Lloydminster.
Being at the local level, it makes a big difference because people know you on the street as well as on the air.
He moved here in 1956 to work as the program director for CKSA Radio and worked for the station until his final newscast in 1993. The Newcap Newsroom is now officially named after him. Some family members were in attendance for the unveiling.
Really is quite appreciative and very humbled by the honor today. Totally unexpected.
Rob Saunders says his father was committed to the profession.
He was not home too often. He was usually out on remote or in the station early in the morning till late at night. And when he did come home, we knew he was home when we could hear the typewriter.
After spending nearly 50 years in the business, Wes Saunders says his advice to younger broadcasters is to maintain a friendly attitude.
The thing is to develop a style of interviewing that you don't intimidate people.
He says broadcasting is especially challenging when you're tackling a difficult story.
But that's how you learn. You learn by doing.
Future broadcasters that walk through the newsroom door will now know his story.
Speaking of fall weather, Smokey Lake rang in autumn weather Saturday with its 25th annual Pumpkin Festival, and this year's show didn't disappoint, with a winning pumpkin weighing in at over 1,000 pounds. Frazer Snowdon was there and has details.
These monstrous pumpkins were weighed one by one at the Smokey Lake weigh-off, but it was one Lloydminster man who took the top prize for the biggest one. The sound of bagpipes and a massive crowd filled the Smokey Lake Arena to welcome the pumpkins and their growers at this year's festival. There were competitors from all over Alberta, but it was Don Cruz who brought in the giant of a winner this year at 1,213.8 pounds.
This was a pumpkin I grew off my own seed. I grew a 1274 off of this seed last year, and I figured I better give it another shot.
A special crew of pumpkin carriers were given the task of lugging the smaller pumpkins onto the scale and a forklift for the bigger ones. Also up for competition was the biggest watermelon, which Cruz claimed the prize for as well, and the longest gourd. These not-so-average gardeners took first and second prize for that one.
We gave it lots of water and sunshine, but there's only one secret that I can't blur out.
Organizers were very pleased with the day.
It was wonderful. It was an excellent show. The weather kind of cooperated. It's a little bit overcast, but great turnout. Downtown was obviously filled up to the rafters.
Festival goers had the choice of food, a fair, and even the traditional big pumpkin drop from the crane. Over 8,000 people attended the event. Frazer Snowdon, Newcap News.